Greetings everyone, my name is Dr. Jason Freeman. I'd like to welcome y'all to my channel. So, as the title of this video reveals, I didn't really like the Peacemaker Season 2 finale. Now before going any further, I do want to reveal that there will be spoilers for Peacemaker Season 2 Episode 8, Full Nelson. So if you have not seen that episode, please click off the video now. Alright, you've been warned. Now, to be fair, I didn't hate everything about the episode. The montage where all the Argus agents are dying one by one, I thought was really well done. It gave stakes and weight to this episode. Basically, whatever Rick Flag Sr.'s plan was, these people are sacrificing their lives for it. I also liked the tension that was building up throughout the episode, especially where Bordeaux was defecting from Argus to the 11th Street Kids. And I like the reveal of Checkmate. Now, I had predicted that Checkmate was coming, I think as early as episode 7, but definitely in this episode. Now, I reacted to all the episodes of Peacemaker Season 2 that's on my Patreon, which is linked in the description below. But those were the things I actually liked. However, there were several things I didn't like. In particular, the overuse of punk rock in this episode. Now, I understand that James Gunn is a big punk rock fan. I mean, just look at his hair. The dude lives punk rock, and that's cool. However, there is a point where you get to the area where this is just overused. Like, okay, I get you like it, but I mean, do you like any other music? Like, you know, I love hip hop, I love alternative, grunge, soul music. And so, you know, I wanted to hear a little bit more of that stuff. And there was some of that interspersed, but a lot of it was the whole punk rock, in particular, this very obscure rock from like Scandinavia. And so it just got overdone. I mean, there was literally a Foxy Shazam concert that brought the episode to a complete halt. And so once they got to like the 20th song, I don't know, there's probably not that many, but once they got to that Foxy Shazam song, I was kind of out a little bit on the episode in that I was just ready for it to get to the end, ready for the reveal, because I was not enjoying it. And if you love this rock, love this music, I mean, this is all for you, so you would have loved this episode. It felt like basically the criticism for the first Suicide Squad movie, that it felt like a big music video. But for me, it just didn't do it for me. And, you know, hopefully, and I know he's not doing Supergirl, but hopefully with Man of Tomorrow, he gets away from that a little bit. That it's not, I mean, it wasn't so much a Superman, so I'm glad he didn't get so much, though there was a whole punk rock conversation. But, you know, in maybe future shows and stuff that he does, maybe get away from so much punk rock references, because honestly, if it gets to the point like we saw in this episode, I'm likely just to click off of it. But of course, the biggest disappointment for this episode was the very end. So my expectations, and again, you can see this in my reaction to it on Patreon, I was thinking, oh, they're going to undermine this setup, so they'll take Peacemaker, send him to the other dimension to basically undermine this prison, do away with it. Maybe they have a plan to get him back, what have you. I thought there was some plan. There was something there to beat Argus at this particular iteration. Because honestly, Rick Flag's plan is basically what Lex Luthor was doing. So I figured they weren't going to rehash that. They did though. So what ended up happening is basically at the end you have Chris Smith stuck on this planet, no means of getting back, and that's the end. So everything was leading up to this, and it was so disappointing, so dissatisfying. And you know, best case scenario, kind of what the thing that gives me hope, again the other part of this title, that is gonna happen. Worst case scenario, Gunn's just running out of ideas. And along the lines of the worst case scenario, one of the biggest issues with the MCU was that everything was basically just setting up the next property. So you do this and it sets up the next property. Now we didn't see that with Superman. So Superman, you do have an ending, a good ending, especially, you know, the big reveal. Oh, sorry, I guess spoilers for Superman. Hopefully you've seen it by now. Because basically Peacemaker Season 2 spoils a lot of Superman. But basically, you get to see him embracing his human parents, where before it was like, this longing to this Kryptonian legacy that he only was vaguely familiar with, feeling essentially out of place, but now he knows he has a place on Earth with his family, with the Kents. And so that was a good ending. And then you get the, you know, prelude, the kind of little preview of Supergirl. The thing with this, though, it feels very much like an MCU situation where, oh, everything here is leading up to Man of Tomorrow. So once you get to the end, oh, this is where Man of Tomorrow is probably going to begin, on this prison, setting up this bigger thing. Because Luthor's going to get out, of course. He always gets out. And so to me, it felt like, oh, they're just doing the MCU thing. And I just don't like that. But here's what gives me hope. And it's basically just two words. Kingdom Come. So Kingdom Come was in 1996. Superman, well, it has all the Justice League, but I would say it's mainly a Superman comic. And so in it, you have this future world. This, you know, there's this whole thing with a ghost and a phantom. But basically, you see this future world where metahumans are kind of running ragged, running wild, killing people. Just willy-nilly, and then Superman, because of a situation that happened, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing because I would love for you to, I have the comic, you should read the comic. Superman has kind of gone off and is off the scene. He's not really part of the world, and then he's brought back into it, and he essentially gets with the Justice League, and they go and round up all these metahumans who are kind of running wild and put them in a prison. Now, before y'all go ahead and say, well, James Gunn in a podcast, and the podcast that comes on after the show, did say that Salvation comes from the comics, which of course, well, that just means that they're doing that storyline. I think that basically they could start with Salvation as kind of the idea that this is where they're sending the metahumans, but then go to Kingdom Come again by, you know, changing or kind of giving Superman and all these other Justice League figures this story that comes from Kingdom Come. And the thing about the Kingdom Come storyline is you have a lot of elements that are present in the DCU. So you have in Kingdom Come, Lex Luthor is leading the human front. So the humans are afraid of these metahumans, so he's kind of leading that. So you can see him, Rick Flag, and some others with that. You see again the Justice League in kind of their full form, which I know is coming. So you're gonna have Batman, Wonder Woman, all of them, and so things are being set up right now. And Kingdom Come is great. Again, you have these kind of different actors working against each other. Batman has a very interesting role in this, being that he's not a metahuman. He's like Chris Smith. He's not a metahuman. He has no powers, and so there's all those dynamics. You know, what side is Batman on? Superman and Shazam. So Shazam, honestly, I think it would have been interesting to see him in Shazam or Captain Marvel and Superman in the DCEU face off. It'd be interesting to see them in this version, you know, because Shazam is pretty powerful too. So it's not, I think people underestimate Shazam's power. He's basically a different version of Superman, honestly. And so that was a really cool storyline, and for a long time, or especially recently, I felt like that is the move for the DCU. It's a much darker story. People die, characters die, and so that's something James Gunn talks about. When he kills off characters, he likes to keep them dead. So that would definitely be the case with Kingdom Come if that was done in the DCU. And again, it really has a lot of big questions about heroism, superheroes, and all that stuff. So I feel like if this is setting up for Kingdom Come as the big event in the DCU, I would love it. Now, of course, another alternative would be a crisis situation of infinite Earths or different Earths or what have you. I don't want that, only because, you know, we're having basically that with the MCU. So the multiverse, you know, with all like the Fox universe and the MCU and the Fantastic Four, all that coming together. So basically, with all this, I feel like they're doing the whole multiverse thing, which I'm not a huge fan of. It kills the stakes. You know, this person gets killed over here, where they're gonna come back next week. So, which I know Peacemaker season 2 did that, but it did it in a very interesting way. I feel like if your whole story is based on that, you lose something. And so yeah, so I'm hoping they don't do a whole. I mean, at some point they probably will, but I'm hoping that it's not going towards like a Crisis on Infinite Earths type deal. So yeah, so hopefully it's Kingdom Come, and if it is, I still have hope for the DCU. Now, if you found this video interesting and or informative, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video. And if you have your own theories, and I know you do, if you have your own theories about the future of the DCU, please leave those in the comment section below. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.